So 44 seconds multiplied by 10, because not 100,000, only 1,000. So if we added, 100,000, that would be around 440. So multiplied by 60, that will give us even much more less, 7 minutes, around 7 minutes. So the RPC and the link queue models, if you are adding items, they will be much more appreciated. While if you're adding with the object model, your regular approach, it would take much more. So 1 hour, 15 minutes compared to 7, 8 minutes. So know when you would like to add operations in batch mode, which approach would you be using. So this is now for 100,000, 1,000. Let's create a simple test here using much more less amount of this. So would be inserting this into this site collection within this list. Here I'm getting items. I'm going to delete them, no need for that. Note, see, I'm just committing an uncommitting code I have already created. You will be having access to this code, it will be uploaded for you, so you can use the various, methodologies you'd like. So here, I'm adding a batch script. Also here, count. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to add here those 3 different modes. So here I'm going to add via the SPList class. Here I'm going to add via the link queue, and here I'm going to add via the batch script. So there is no such list here. So title. And list title. So just ignore this error. This takes, no need for list title here, the count. We're going to add, let's say, 1,000 items. Same here, 1,000 items. And here, also 1,000 items. Not 100,000, it's just 1,000. So you see the different, or let's even, for the sake of this, because 1/2 hour is remaining, let's make it 500. But notice that the more number you give, the clearer the difference you will see as well. So with small numbers, it's not always very accurate, but it's just 1 hour session, so it's a proof of concept as well. I'm not going to run it directly here. I'm going to build it here, and 3 arrows. It contains, of course, because there are duplicates here. Solution Explorer. I have added before a class, another class, so we'll be deleting this link queue. Okay. Now let's run our ANS profiler. And at the end of the session, I will show you the final findings I've reached, when it's best to use which mode for which CRUD operation, add or delete or update. I'm not expecting that you know exactly how to use this code. Just be in mind and keep in mind, when it's best to use which mode in which scenario. So you will come across this in your future, projects maybe where you have to, where batch operations are involved. So you just need to remember, okay, one time I heard about this in one session that, for example, when I add or update or delete or just get, some items, it's best to use a different methodology. So you will come again and research, just don't hesitate, and, don't research or rush. So people always forget, but just try to remember, that in certain scenarios, better approaches are available for performance, considerations. So when it comes to mine, Google again, remember that, there are better approaches for batch operations. Still, counting, it has finished, adding items via SPList item. It's now adding items via link queue methodology. And after that, it will add the RPC. You can actually notice the changes here as well. If you refresh here, you'll see that the number have increased. It was 199 something, it's adding actual items, But once it's done, it will open our ANS profiler. Still calculating, You can see, the performance, counting is still counting, processing the CPU, the I/O, the read or write, so you can actually, see the overload on your current operation, And within my humble, machine, you can see that it's almost exceeding, the number. That's why, I could not, exceed more than that, But if your machine supports 8 GB RAM, you can perform much more than that. Still performing, and now, actually, it also finished the link queue. It's, executing the batch script, and done. So you can see here also, which methods took much more time or less time, You can see the time here. This took, for example, 23 seconds. Or this took 13 seconds. You can actually here, view whether you want to, view them percentage-wise from the overall, or just milliseconds or seconds, based on what you want. And here, finally, you can see the batch operation, how long time it takes. Just very few, you see. Yes. So with this approach, you will see, at least, when would I use which methodology. Always, the batch operation, the RPC methodology, takes best time, And I will show you in short as well how the format would look like, actually. Go to the definition here, and I'd like to show you here the format. And this is the real actual, method where things are executed. Run it again, set a breakpoint, and show you the XML format. The query, no, it's not a camel query as well. The camel query will be used later if we want to, to update or delete or get items. But just for us to add items, I'll show you now the script. This is the script, the generation script I created. In such format, this is the batch operation. It tells you, what would happen if an error occurred on one of those items. Would you break the entire operation, or would you continue? So you can either specify continue or return. Return will break the entire operation. Continue will go to the next, even if you counted some error here. And you can see that I'm requesting the list with this current ID. I'm adding a new. The ID, there exists no current ID yet. And I'm saving, actually. So you can save, actually, this for update. The same update, except that you specify here an ID. So it will understand this is an update operation. If it's specified with new, it understands it's an add operation, a creation operation. And actually here I'm just adding this title. Title added via bash script. This is from me. And as long you see a long list of created XML format list. And this is actually up to you what you name it as you wish, but you will see how it's meaningful in the return, script. It will return the operation. It will actually execute it. It will take some time when it executes, but once it's executed, it will return a script in the terms of operation results, because you can see it returns a string actually. The string is also XML format, but it will specify what happened in which operation with those